Our presentation is on enhancement and replacement projects. I'm Sanjatul Hassan Siam and my teammates are Vaishuddin Rana, Abdullah Altami, Ikra Chaudhary Nokshi. At first, we take a look on the contents that we are going to discuss. The contents are introduction to enhancement and replacement projects, expected challenges, requirement techniques when there is an existing system, prioritizing by using business objectives, mind the gap, maintaining performance levels when old requirements don't exist, which requirements should you specify, how to discover the requirements of an existing system, and encouraging new system adoption. Our first topic, introduction to enhancement and replacement projects. First, what is enhancement project? An enhancement project is one in which new capabilities are added to an existing system. Enhancement projects might also involve correcting defects, adding new reports, and modifying functionality to comply with revised business rules or needs. Then, replacement. A replacement project replaces an existing application with a new custom-built system, a commercial off-the-shelf system, or a hybrid of those. Replacement projects are most commonly implemented to improve performance, cut costs such as maintaining cost or license fee, take advantages of modern technologies, or meet regulatory requirements. The replacement and enhancement projects faces some particular requirement issues. The original developer who held all the critical information in their heads might be long gone. It's tempting to claim that a small enhancement doesn't warrant writing any requirements. Developer might believe that they don't need detailed requirements if they are replacing an existing system's functionality. The approach described in this chapter can help one to deal with challenges of enhancing or replacing an existing system to improve its ability to meet the organization's current business needs. Our next topic is expected challenges. In this topic, we'll describe what are the challenges we can expect. The presence of an existing system leads to a common challenges that both enhancement and replacement projects will face, including the following. The changes could degrade the performance to which users are accustomed. Little or no requirement documentation might be available for the existing system. Users who are familiar with how the system works today might not like the changes they are about to encounter. You might unknowingly break or omit functionality that is vital to some stakeholder group. Stakeholders might take the opportunity to request new functionality that seems like a good idea but isn't really needed to meet the business objectives. Even if there is existing document, it might not prove useful. For enhancement projects, the documentation might not be up to date. If the documentation doesn't match the existing application reality, it is of limited use. For replacement systems, you also need to be wary of carrying forward all of the requirements because some of the old functionality probably should not be migrated. One of the major issues in replacement projects is validating that the reason for the replacement are sound. There need to be justifiable business objectives for the change. When existing systems are being completely replaced, organizational processes might also have to change, which makes it harder for people to accept the new system. The changes in business process, the change in the software system, and learning curve of new system can disrupt current operation. Then the next topic is requirement techniques when there is an existing system. Now in this topic, I'm going to discuss the most important requirement development techniques to consider when working on enhancement and replacement projects to overcome the challenges. Here, the heading contains the technique name and then the reason why it is relevant. First, we have the technique create features tree to show changes, show features being added, identify features from the existing system that won't be in the new system. Then the next technique is identify user classes. This technique is used for access who is affected by the changes, identify new user classes whose needs must be met. Then understand business processes. Understand how the current system is intertwined with the stakeholders' daily jobs and the impacts of its change. Define new business processes that might need to be created to align with new features or a replacement system. Document business rules. Record business rules that are currently embedded in code. Look for new business rules that need to be honored. redesign the system to better handle volatile business rules that were expensive to maintain. Then we have create use classes or user stories. This technique is for to understand what users must be able to do with the system, understand how users expect new features to work, prioritize functionality for the new system. Create a context diagram, identify and document external entities, extend existing interfaces to support new features, identify current interfaces that might need to be changed. Then we have create an ecosystem map. Look for other affected systems, look for new modified and absolute interfaces between the systems. Then we have create a dialog map to see how new screens fit into the existing user interface, show how the workflow screen navigation will change. Create data models to verify that the existing data model is sufficient or extend it for new features. Verify that all of the data entities and attributes are still needed. Consider what data has to be migrated, converted, corrected, archived, or discarded. Specifying quality attributes. Ensure that the new system is designed to fulfill quality expectations. Improve satisfaction of quality attributes over the existing system. Then create report tables. Convert existing reports that are still needed. Define new reports that aren't in the old system. Build prototypes. Engage users in the redevelopment process. Prototype measure enhancement if there are uncertainties. Inspect requirements specification. Identify broken links in the traceability chain. Determine if any previous requirements are absolute or unnecessary in the replacement system. Thank you. That's all. Now Ikra Chaudhary Noshi will take it from here.
Assalamu alaikum, and Ikra Chaudhary Noshi. My topic is prioritizing by using business objectives. For enhancement projects, we must trace requirements back to business objectives to ensure that the new features are needed and to select the highest impact features to implement first. Enhancement projects are undertaken when we need to add new functionalities to an existing system. Many of the times, we caught up in excitement and add unnecessary functionalities, which can make the system run slower. So first, we have to prioritize those functionalities which are very important and must be needed to fulfill the business objectives. For replacement projects, we should prioritize the following factors considering the business objectives. No unnecessary new functionalities should slip into replacement projects. First, we must build a stable project, then go for the extra features. Using the anticipated cost savings from a new system, we must be clear to the business objectives of the business or the system in terms of cost. The system should be flexible to predetermine cost. Exclude existing functionalities that does not need to be retained in a replacement system. Next, we have mind in the gap. A gap analysis is a comparison of functionalities between an existing system and a desired new system. Gap analyzing can be described in different ways, include use case scenarios, and different features. Gap analyzing is significant as it entails understanding of existing functionality, identify user requirements for the existing system, helps prioritizing the existing user requirements and the new ones together. For enhancement projects, gap analyzing gives us better understanding why the current system is not fulfilling the business objectives. For replacement projects, gap analyzing helps us in discovering desired functions or functionalities. Next, maintaining performance levels. Existing systems set user expectations for performance and throughput. Unless we explicitly plan to maintain them, performance level can be compromised as systems are enhanced. Enhanced system is not maintained perfectly. It can lead to a slower system, which may cause customers dissatisfaction. For maintaining performance levels in replacement system, we must prioritize the KPIs that are most important to maintain. What is KPI? KPI is Key Performance Indicator. Key performance indicators are the elements of the plan that express what is wanted to achieve by when. The anatomy of a structured KPI includes a measure, a target, a data source, and reporting frequencies. KPI provides a focus for strategic and operational improvement, create an analytic basis for the decision making, helps us focusing on what matters the most. This is the end of my topic. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. In the presentation, my first topic is when old requirements don't exist. Most of the old systems don't have documented, let alone accurate requirements. For this, there is a reason. In the software industry, there is a whisper is writing document will consume too much time. That's why team might reverse engineer an understanding of what the system does. If we don't update requirement, feature maintainer may have to rediscover the entire requirements later on. The cost of recording newly knowledge is smaller compared to rediscover it later on. So we have to add new requirements to an existing requirement repository if there is one. And we also have to make requirement better shape than we found. Next topic is which requirement should you specify. It is always not time worthy to make or generate the entire requirement set for the production. So we may have to specify requirement. When we add new requirement to an existing system, we have to also bear in mind that how the new system will fit with the existing system. If we see it in the figure, we see that the area B is the current system and area A is the new requirements, and those B's are the interface by which the new requirements are connecting to the current system. So for specifying requirement, we have to first focus detailed requirement efforts on the change. For this, we have to document the area prioritized as most important. Here we face a challenge. So the challenge is determine the appropriate level of detail. To solving this challenge, we have an approach. The approach is trace data and create traceability metrics to link new requirement. Requirement trace data will help the developer to understand which part of the component should make change, and then we have to make a list of features and user stories of the existing system. By this, the developer will understand which part of the existing system has to be implemented on the new system. So this was all, and now I would like to invite my next teammate to continue the presentation. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Ruchudin Rana and my topic is to discover the requirements of an existing system and encouraging new system adoption. Recently, we know the summary of enhancement is to add some new feature within an existing system, and enhance and replacement or reengineering is to replace something instead of some existing feature of an existing system. Now we have to discover the requirements of an existing system. During enhancement project, consider drawing a dialog map for the new screens to have to add showing the navigation connection to and from existing display elements. We might write use case or user stories that span the new and existing functionality. In replacement system projects, we need to understand all of the desired functionality, just as we do on any new development project. Study the user interface of the existing system to identify candidate functionality for the new system. Examine existing system interface to determine what data is exchanged between system today, and analyze any documentation that does exist. Design documentation documents, help screens, user manuals, training materials to identify requirements. The next topic is encouraging new system adoption. That means impress users to accept the new system. We know users are accustomed to how the system works today. Then we have to modify which is not so good from the user's point of view. During elicitation, focus on the benefits the new system or each feature will provide to the users. An existing established system is probably stable. This new feature might not support their current operation. So, uh, help users to understand the value of the proposed change to the organization as a whole. Showing prototype to user can help them get used to the new system or new feature and reveal likely adoption uses early in the project. Transition requirements will be required for stakeholders to compatibility and efficiently transition to the new way of working. The transition requirements may be user training or business policy or organizational policy, etc. Thank you, everyone.